the guru of Instagram, baby. She has gotten so many followers every single month. I think about approximately 300 a month. So she's going to tell us her secrets. Makeda Smith. Whoop, whoop. No more ado. We're going to be asking her all types of questions. Let me know if you're getting feedback. Are you getting feedback, Makeda?
Yeah, you need to turn off your app.
Whoop, whoop. No more ado. Okay. We're going to be asking her all types of questions. Let me know if you're getting feedback. Are you getting feedback, Makeda?
So if you have the app up, you have to go in and turn it off.
I don't have the app up. I'm on my laptop.
It could be Makeda.
Makeda, are you on your?
So if you have the app up, you have to go in and.
No, I'm not on my phone.
I don't have the app up. I'm on my laptop.
Yeah, me too.
It could be Makeda.
Makeda, are you on your? Let me see.
I'm on my laptop.
Ah!
So where's the feedback coming from?
I don't know. I took off my headset just in case. I don't know where the feedback is coming from. I love our technology.
Yeah, I only have my laptop up, so.
Let me get out and get back in. I'll be right back. I don't know if let's see. Let's narrow it down. I love our technology.
Yeah, I only have my laptop up, so.
Let me get out and get back in. I'll be right back.
It's you, Makeda.
It's me, so.
Yeah, so you go into Real Estate Live now, and the video there, you need to turn it off.
Okay. I have windows up. Okay.
It's you, Makeda.
Okay. It's me, so.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Real Estate Live now. It's still going.
Okay. Try to jump out and jump back in.
No, because what it is you're live in the Google app, but you also have 22 Social in Facebook running. So you need to maybe close Facebook. Is that better?
Right? Yeah. I think it's Makeda. Sorry, guys, for our technical difficulties, but this is technology, and we are live, baby, and this is what happens.
Okay.
So bear with us while Makeda comes back live. But she's been really killing it at Instagram, guys. For those that don't know, Makeda, she is out of a suburb of Chicago in Plainfield, and she has been really killing it on Instagram. And she has an awesome profile on there for those that don't know. But yeah, you can follow her. She is at Makeda Smith Realty, and I'm going to double check that right now because I wanted to make sure that that is her handle. But definitely, she's going to jump on in a minute, guys. Bear with us. Yeah. So Makeda's Realty, Makeda, which is Makedas Realty. Follow her on Instagram. She's been doing great. She has a wonderful profile on there where it's very clean, clear, cohesive on Instagram. And I think that's what a lot of people need is to be.
I'm back.
He's back.
Okay.
Perfect. No feedback. No feedback
great.
whatsoever. Awesome. So Makeda, we are 5 minutes in. Let us know who you are, what you're about, what you got going on. And I know you're killing it. So please, what's going on with you?
Hey, everybody. My name is Makeda Smith. I am in the Chicagoland area with Sonia. So, and I'm also in a suburb of Chicago, which is Plainfield, which is about 40 minutes outside of Chicago. And I am a licensed real estate broker. I've been licensed since 2004. And just recently, I've been on Instagram, and that is one of my favorite platforms right now. And so I started back in March building Instagram for my business because I was just using it personally for my family and friends. And I was looking at someone who had did a challenge, and she was like, you know what? I challenge you to grow your Instagram page for 1 week and gain 100 followers. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. How can you gain 100 followers in 7 days? But I was like, okay, let me take the challenge. Let me see, you know, what happens if I, you know, try to gain more followers within that 7 days. And I did not hit 100 followers, but I did get 70. And then the light bulb went out. I'm like, okay, if I can get 70 followers in 7 days, how many more followers can I get and, you know, use Instagram for business to showcase real estate? So that's how I started. And that was back in March. So in March, this year. I think I was at 437 followers. I'm currently at 2,600. So yeah, and that's been since March. So the last 3 months has been consistently growing at 300 followers per month.
So, okay, so tell us, what is your tactic? What is your strategy? You know, first of all, I mean, I know Instagram has been rolling out like a ton of new stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we have Instagram stories, and as of today, we have the whole live streaming on Instagram, which is crazy. Like, my mind is blown right now. So it's like a Facebook Live or a Periscope type of situation, right? Kind of. So so for those, number one, that are brand new to Instagram, and guys, feel free, if you want to comment on www.realestatelive.now.com. Feel free to jump on live to ask a comment, or if you want to just go ahead and add a comment or a question in the comment section, feel free to ask Makeda any questions.
Sonia,
go ahead. Yeah.
Really quick. So the questions that they ask, am I able to see this, or do I need to just switch back over to Facebook to see it?
No, you could. Oh, for the questions? No, Lance is actually handling that. He is in the background. Okay. That's what you see, the little icon. Lance is in the background. He's actually going through the comments section, so you don't have to worry about that. This is all about you, Chica. It's all about you. So, yes.
So, Instagram, I wrote down 10 tips. So everyone grab your pen and papers. I'm going to take you through 10 tips to grow your Instagram and what I had to do. So the first thing is,
was that you, Lance? Are you right there? He's like ready. He's like, let's do this.
Right. He has that bottle over there, so we have to check on him.
Oh, God. All right.
So everyone have their pen and paper. So the first thing is branding on Instagram. Everyone knows that Instagram is like eye candy. Everything is a photo. So you have to make the best of the photos that you're posting on Instagram, just to make sure that it stands out and that you're consistent in your branding. And when I say branding, I'm talking about your logo, your colors on your Instagram. And just, you know, for myself, because my office colors are gold, black, and white, and that's in my logo. So I make sure across my Instagram page that what I'm posting is according to my color scheme with my brand, and that is gold, white. So for instance, I would post motivation quotes, and I would use black and white because that's my logo, and I'll also put my logo in the corner. So I also, just recently, I had someone copy my Instagram quote, and another agent had caught that, and she was like, you know what, because of my consistency in the font that I use, that's also a part of your branding. So make sure you stay consistent using the same font. She was able to say, you know what, that's not her content, that's Makeda's content, because she recognized my font on the post that was listed on somebody else's page without giving me my credit. So that's one thing, making sure that you have your branding down packed right down to your colors and your patterns. So if I was able to pull up your Instagram, I should be able to see a theme and a pattern straight down the page as I continue to scroll. So everything should look consistent. So you have to make sure that there's eye candy for the people to want to follow you, because people are going to look at the first 6 or 9 posts, and they're going to say, okay, based on the first 6 or 9 posts that they click on, whether or not they want to go ahead and follow you. So make sure that whatever you post, you don't do a drive-by post. Make sure that you know, it's consistent to your brand and the message that you're trying to give out. So that's number one, brand consistency. Make sure that your theme, the colors on your page are all set to match, and that there's a pattern.
So Makeda,
so that's number one.
Before you go to number 2, so basically what you're saying is make sure that your profile, when somebody clicks on your profile, to make sure it looks cohesive in terms of the picture layout. So that way, kind of like a theme behind it, whether it's quotes in your pictures or selfies, or you know, so somewhere to have a cohesive profile when you're looking at it from the outsider's point of view, right?
Right. And be authentic. Be authentically yourself when you're posting on Facebook, because if I seen that same post on say Facebook, somebody took your image and used it on Facebook, I should be able to identify that image as yours because you've been consistent with your branding as far as the colors and the font sizes and everything that you're using, and also posting your logos. And if you guys want to jot this down, the app that I use to post my logo on my picture is WordSwag. So you can swag out a photo, and that's adding the text, and then you can go back and add your company's logo or your own logo on top of the photo.
Okay, so you definitely want to have some sort of a strategy, not just kind of like post whatever, yes. Right?
Yes.
Call it a day, right? You want to
yeah.
have some strategy going in terms of making it that cohesiveness and make it nice and pretty, because Instagram is all about beauty and pictures, right? And calling attention with the pictures. Okay.
And typically I plan my social media posts on Sunday. So I take out about an hour or 2 hours, and sometimes I can get it done on Saturday if I'm not doing anything. Make sure that I plan out my posts for like the next 5 days and make sure that they're consistent with that theme. And I think, Sonia, you do this as well, especially with Periscope and live streaming. You make sure that you have a theme for the week or a theme for the month. So I suggest that you come up with a theme for this week. This month, I've been focused on buyers. And then next month, my theme, for example, is home for the holidays. And as we go into spring, I'm going to move towards, you know, some seller themes. So make sure you have a theme.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I'm down with that for sure. Now, I see that your profile on Instagram, it's like quotes and then a couple of selfies and then maybe a couple of pictures.
A few selfies.
What's that?
Just a few selfies, right?
No, but what I'm
asking
is that it's okay for you to use selfies, right? Because
yes.
Because like you were saying, to be authentic, right? So you want to make sure that you're incorporating yourself into your profile.
Exactly.
Well, right?
Yes.
So,
and just like with you, Sonia, when you do your IG stories, you make sure that you are popping in there and you're telling your story, and it's a part of your brand. And people know to come to you for all things, you know, real estate, and also for the neighborhoods in Chicago for juicing. Like, we know you for that because it's been consistent across all of your social media pages.
Correct. So what do you have for number 2? Because I know you got 10. So
number 2. Okay, so number 2 is your bio. So I'm going to pull up my Instagram page just really quick.
Peeps, your bio is super huge.
Yes. So your bio should have 2 things: who you are, well, 3 things: who you are, what do you do, and what problem do you solve? What problem do you solve is key. And so there is a spot. Can you guys, is that too much light going on there? Can you see it? Is it too much?
It's too, okay. It's too much. Right.
Okay. So on your Instagram, and that's why I wish I was able to do this from my phone so I could have showed you on my desktop, or had a 2-way camera, which I do not have.
Good. So Makeda, what is your handle? So if you want to see Makeda's bio, what's your handle?
Okay, it's Makeda, my first name, S Realty. So it's Makeda's Realty. It's MakedasRealty. And if you go to your Instagram, there is the first field that you're able to put in letters. Most people put their name there, but I will tell you to put what it is that you do or your location. So I used to have Makeda Smith there, but that was serving no purpose because that field is actually searchable in Instagram. If someone was to go and put in Makeda Smith in the search box, of course I'm going to come up, but what does that have to do with real estate? So go ahead. I wound up changing it a couple of weeks ago when I got this tip, and I put in Chicago real estate broker, because if someone is looking for a real estate agent in Chicago, they're probably going to put in Chicago real estate. So that field is searchable. So if you're like Annie is in Orlando, you know, whatever area you in, make sure that you use that one field. You can't put that many characters in it. So make sure you maximize the use of that one field because it's searchable on Instagram. So for another example, if you were a life coach, you are searchable by the word life coach, because you have to think about how would your ideal client find you? Like what keywords would they put into Instagram to search for you? So that's what you want to have in that field. So even though I'm not in Chicago per se, I'm in the suburb of Chicago, people know Chicago. And then because I switched my profile to business, my business address is actually on my profile. And people are able to email me.
Talk about that too, Makeda, switching from personal business to, but I still want to keep it into the bio. One thing that I did have a question on is, should you include, and because we're in this, you know, particular subject about the bios, should you include a hashtag in your bio? And also, should you include either a particular URL link or just your standard website link? Or go ahead, you let me know about that one.
This is what I do. I do not use hashtags on my bio because I don't want my bio to look spammy. Even though Instagram is a hashtag friendly place, I don't want when people come to see, okay, what is all these hashtags in a bio? Tell me who you are, what do you do, what problem do you solve? And so that's the basic thing that people want to know when they're determining whether or not they're following you, not all of the hashtags. And so I do utilize the website link, Sonia. So what I normally do is have my main website in my bio. But if you go to it right now, I actually have a link to my latest ebook, because I do change out the website link according to whatever theme I'm going with on my page. So most times throughout the year, I have makedasrealty.com in my bio. But if I'm doing a blog, I would put the blog link there so that it's easily clickable for people to find and to go to right from their phones. Because if you know, when you put it in a caption, people are not able to click on a link within the caption. So you want to make sure if you want someone to look at your bio, you want them to download your checklist, make sure that you put the link in that field. And you're only doing it temporarily, like people will still be able to find you online. It's temporary. So that's number 2, your bio. Make sure that people know who you are, what you do, and what problem you solve. And make sure you take your name out, because no one cares about the name. They can learn who you are as far as your name, but make sure you put whatever your title, whatever they would search to get to you in that field. And so the third thing is, we talked about it, the website link. So Sonia already covered that. So that was the third thing, the website link. The fourth thing I have on here is to engage your followers. Oh my God. So there's nothing worse than following somebody and commenting how pretty their picture is, or you gave great information about, let's say, real estate negotiations, you know, but you didn't say anything back. Like you didn't say thank you. You didn't say, oh, I appreciate you taking the time to comment. Make sure you engage your followers when they comment on your page, because it comes off as if you're just posting and leaving and not trying to build a relationship, or you're just looking for the sale. So that's number 4, engage and make sure that you comment, you answer comments, you comment on your followers page as much as you can. So what I like to do every now and then, I will go back through like the people who like my posts and make sure I go back and like, you know, things that because I'm not always, I don't follow for follow. So I'm not following everyone that comments on my page or everyone that comes and follow me. So I will go back and use the likes to make sure that I engage with them on their page as well. Perfect. So that's number 4.
Now, what about engagement with emoji? Like I see a lot of emojis being thrown out. Like, you know, yeah, no, so you put it in there and you know, you do a thumbs up or you do a little smile face, or, you know, is that engagement okay? Or do you have to specifically put in a couple of words and an emoji? Or, you know, is it okay to respond back with just an emoji, be like thumbs up?
For me, I like to be genuine with my comment. So I do more than emojis, unless I really know the person and we're like commenting like all day, or I'm really familiar with them. I think that that's okay if you're familiar with the person, but if it's like a spam comment, that's annoying. So but if you know the person, I think Instagram is an emoji friendly place, just like the hashtags. I mean, it's emoji friendly. So I think it just depends on who that person is and what their intentions are.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So number 5. Oh my goodness. You would think that everyone would know this one, but if you are a realtor and you are using your Instagram for business, there is no reason that someone should click on your page and it's private. That means that you are closed for business. Sonia said, no, 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 no.
No. What is the emoji for?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, so you make sure that if it's your personal page and you want to make sure that your page stays private, that's fine. But if you're on there for business, make sure that your profile is public so that people are able to find you and to find your services. So that's number 5.
Okay. So are we gonna, I don't know if you have it in your tips, but are we gonna get into the personal versus business page too? Or is that in there?
Not really, but
okay.
we can tackle it after number 10.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So number 6, make sure that you're providing useful tips on your page. So make sure it's authentic to you. So what I do, and you don't have to do the same thing, because like Sonia, she's authentically herself on all of her social media handles. So what I do, I like to provide motivation and inspiration. Like Sonia was like, you put quotes up all the time. So yes,
I love your quotes though, girl.
Thank you. So I put quotes up all the time, and then I also make sure that I post something motivational for business, because a lot of business owners follow me as well. So I make sure that I post something as it relates to business and building business and just staying motivated, being an entrepreneur. And then the other thing that I want to make sure that I stick to my main goal, which is real estate, and I'm teaching terminology on my real estate page. So I would take a white photo and just throw up a term in real estate like homeowner exemption, property taxes. The one I did last night, real estate negotiations. There's a lot of things on my page that I'm giving people definitions of what those things mean. And I'm also providing examples so that they're able to relate. And so people are now starting to, see me as that person that's educating and an expert in my field. And any questions on that, Sonia? Are we saving questions to the end?
We can save questions to the end. Lance, I know you're behind the scenes. Any questions so far, Mr. Lance?
No questions. They're taking notes and commenting and having a good time with each other.
Okay. That's fun. So the other thing, number 7, is to use IG stories. Make sure with the IG stories now, that they were just strictly like in the inbox, like, put away at the top of the screen for no one to see unless they happen to click on your picture in your profile. But now Instagram have it to where people are able to find your video in the explore page. And so you want to make sure that you are doing those IG videos, because if you get a lot of, looks or replies in your inbox, it may wound up on the explore page, your videos. So that's tip number 7. So number 8.
Oh, wait. Before we continue on to number 8, number 8. So regarding the IG stories, so I want to ask, what type of stories do you feel like we need to be doing as real estate industry professionals? Is it, behind the scenes? Is it tips or tricks? Is it just, showing your daily life? Like what? Because I've also noticed, and everyone this whole thing about everybody's opinion, but whatever works for you. I have also noticed on Instagram stories, a lot of people from Snapchat share their Snapchat stories.
Mm-hmm.
Or should you keep it organic, or should you, what should you be doing on Instagram stories? Well, we know what's working for you.
Well, if you take a page out of Gary Vee's book, he's like, no, like, do not post your Snapchat on your IG stories because it's just putting the same content. Now, I admit I was guilty, and sometimes I am still guilty because I just don't care. I'm going to post my Snapchat, one video because I want to tell a particular story. So if that Snapchat 9-second video fits into my story that I'm doing on IG story, then I'll go ahead and post it and add it in there. But I do love the Snapchat, filters. I hope that IG comes out with some more filters that we're able to play with a little bit more than Snapchat. But I believe that we should show behind scenes so that people know what goes on with real estate. They see stuff, on TV that it's not real life. So we need to make sure, right, on some reality shows, like, we're not just showing 3 properties and going home. Sometimes we've shown the same buyer 10 to 12 properties.
Or my first place, or $1 million listing, right?
I don't want to say any names, but
I'll say it.
Yeah. So, make sure that whatever you do, just make sure it's authentic to the pictures that you post on your page and authentic to the message that you want to relate to people, because not all of us are in the same niche. So make sure that you're not talking about residential and then REOs and you're a commercial broker. Like, make sure you stay consistent to your message. But I think you should be
consistent to your niche. Right, your niche, or however you say it. But so if you're doing foreclosures, talk about foreclosure. If you're doing, I don't know, flips and whatever, fixes and flips, then do that. Or if you're doing commercial, then do, right? So is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, but like the foreclosures and residentials, like all of that can fall into like one umbrella. So it's so many things that we can do under the umbrella of real estate. So just make sure that the message is consistent, whatever that is.
Got it.
So
okay.
That was number 8, be consistent. So that means that you have to, which is my next number 9, post 2 to 3 times a day when you're trying to build your Instagram. And that was my problem, something I had to get used to, posting 2 to 3 times a day. So there is a app that you can use called Later. It's Latergram. And there are no apps, because people always ask, especially us busy realtors, is there an app that would allow you to automatically post to Instagram? No. Instagram does not allow automatic posts to Instagram. They want to make sure that it is coming authentically from your account. I believe they do it to cut back on spammers, because there's so many spam accounts on Instagram. So for whatever reason, you can't just automate your post to Instagram. So you have to use the app.
Have you used Schedulegram, Makeda?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
I've been using Schedulegram, and there is actually another one which I still haven't delved into, but Schedulegram has been working pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a couple of, not that many, I think there's like 3 right now that will be able to, that allow you, to actually post to your Instagram as a scheduler system.
Right. So what it will do, most of the apps will send you a reminder or pop up on your phone to say, hey, you want to post this right now, and you just hit send. So you have to manually go in and hit send. The other app is Planoly. It's Planoly. And then that will also, with that app that I like, it gives you an overview of your screen. You can put pictures in and move it around. So I like that. So you're able to make sure that your theme and your color scheme, stays the same on Instagram. So that's a good one. But consistently posting 2 to 3 times a day will help you to grow your Instagram account. And when I say post 2 to 3 times a day, do not run onto Instagram and hit back-to-back post and leave. Like, no, don't do that, because people People will unfollow you. They're like, no, you're spamming, you know, my timeline. Like people will unfollow you for things like that. So number 10, this is the big one. Hashtags. Hashtags. Sonia, we talked about hashtags earlier, but hashtags. So Instagram would allow for you to use up to 30 hashtags. I use all 30 of my hashtags. And the thing with hashtags that I want to tell you guys, make sure, and this is a hack that I learned, make sure that you put your hashtags not in your caption, but in the second comment. And the reason for that is that I follow a couple of Instagram gurus.
And what you go into the second comment, so what does that mean for those people that don't know what is a second comment? Like, give us an example.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is through the beginning.
Okay.
For that.
So you go into Instagram, you're posting your picture, you're posting your caption, and in the caption, people normally put their hashtags in the caption of that same photo. No. Write out your paragraph, your sentence, whatever you're going to put as your caption, and post a picture. And then for that, hit the comment button, which is the circle, right up under your photo. Hit the comment button, and that's going to take you to the comment. And all you have to do is, I like to keep my hashtags in my notes in my iPhone. So make sure you have a space in your phone that you keep all of your hashtags. And I have different hashtags depending on what post I'm doing. Like I said, if I'm doing an entrepreneur hashtag, in my iPhone, I have Rich Girl Hustle. And so with the Rich Girl Hustle, all of these other female entrepreneur hashtags come up that I research, because you know, it's not just about throwing up hash. And I can give you guys another hack.
The
research. On you?
The research. What do you use to get research?
Okay, so research your hashtags. And what I mean by research your hashtags, the same thing as your bio. How will your ideal client find you? What words are they going to type into Instagram to find your services or the problem that they have that you can solve? So for example, I use first-time home buyer. And I recently started using first-time home buyers because I'm finding a lot of real estate agents are starting to use that. But when buyers buy their first home, they're hashtagging first-time home buyer because they're so happy that they became a first-time home buyer. And that's the hashtag that they're using. Or they're using first home is the hashtag, you know, that they're using. Homeowners, new homeowners, those are the hashtags that new buyers are using. So I would use those hashtags, but sometimes just adding, and here's a hack, adding an S to the hashtags would make sure that you are not, you know, over 1 million in a hashtag. And my example of that, if you hashtag real estate, I think I did it today, it's 5.3 million posts under real estate. That is not a hashtag that you want to use for your ideal client to find you, because all of our people in our industry, mortgage industry as well, are using the real estate hashtag. And so you want to make sure that when you search your hashtags, that you are using hashtags not like for like, because those are spam hashtags. Do not use those. Make sure you find hashtags that relate to your business and the message that you want to send across Facebook. But make sure, this is key, that there are no more than 100,000 to 150,000 posts in that hashtag. So that is a huge tip, you guys. So when you search your hashtags, make sure that they're less than 150. And what that's going to do, your goal on Instagram to grow your following is to make it to those top 9 posts. So, you know, if you go on Instagram, I don't know how familiar everyone on here is familiar with Instagram. If you click on a hashtag, it's going to show you those 9 top posts within that hashtag. You want to make sure that you're able to dominate in those top 9 fields within that hashtag. And I use another hashtag I use frequently is women in real estate. And so I've been in the top 9 a few times using women in real estate because it's not a dominant hashtag that people use, but I'm able to have longer shelf life with my hashtag, that my post is able to stay maybe 2 or 3 days instead of an hour or not at all if you're using a hashtag that's, you know, by millions of people. So that's a tip, you guys. Make sure you, and I can give you the hashtags. You have to research like your hashtags that will work for you. But that like for like, Insta real estate, Insta millionaire, like stay away from those hashtags.
Now, is there a couple of apps or websites that you use to research?
No. No, but there are some, I think Let's Tag This is one, but just, you know, you can Google or go into your app and find some hashtags, but no, I did not. I did all of mine manually. Just came up with thinking, you know, how would my ideal buyer find me? So how you guys, and a lot of people have questions on how do I create content? This is how you create content. Who is your ideal client? Who is your target audience? Mine is a millennial, married or single. I work with a lot of single females, millennial or Generation X. These are people between the age of 25 and 49. So write this down. Who is my ideal client? And what are their age group? What do they like to read? Where do they hang out at? If it's Starbucks, you want to kind of post, you know, maybe a theme of Starbucks on one of your posts that they're able to relate to. Some of my targeted audience, you know, they like Twilight, you know, those things, because those are millennials. But I know that you have to get inside the mind, and you talk to your clients every day. Like, what are they watching? What magazines are they picking up off the bookshelf? Use those things to create and lead them to your Facebook page, Instagram. Right, Sonia? Right, I'm over here drinking something, right? So what things do they like? What is their annual income? Like, I did a post regarding, like, I know single females is one of my targeted audience. So I did a post based on what is their annual income and what percentage do they buy real estate. And people actually loved the statistics that I gave them regarding single female and their income and what they would need to do to, you know, buy a house. Is there such a thing as too small of a hashtag search? No, but it is such thing as too large. Like, so
the minimum for the hashtag is 100,000, right?
100 to 150,000, but it depends on how many followers you have. Like for me, if I have 2,600 followers, I'm going to use the 150, you know, thousand. But if you have 200 followers, don't do that. Like, don't do that. So, and then Lance, I don't know if that was you that asked that question, but I take it back. I did click on a couple of hashtags where they were only like 3 posts. No one is using that hashtag but you. So yeah, I would say that there is a such thing as using a hashtag that is too low, especially if it's something that's unique to you. But the other thing I would say, Laura T asked, okay. The other thing I would say regarding whatever your brand, like mine is Makeda's Realty, like people know that name. And so what I do, I use that hashtag. So everything that I post, I make sure that I use Makeda's Realty. So if you were to go into Google and put in Makeda's Realty, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like all of that stuff is going to come up. So like Sonia, do you have like a theme or a brand that you use on all of your posts that's specific to you?
Well, I particularly use a hashtag See Sonia, because that relates back to my website.
Yes, because it relates back to your website too. So yes, See Sonia. So that is, make sure you use your own personal hashtag so you can create your own brand under that hashtag. When people go to click on it, they're getting everything that is about you and your business. You said Karen asked a question. I missed that, Lance. Can you put that back up?
Okay, so Karen asked, do you have more than one Instagram account, one for business and personal?
No. So with me this year, everything with the real estate, I'm going in 110%. So my account that I have now was a personal account. I went through and I deleted some posts on there that did not fit like the theme or the brand that I was trying to do. So I started over per se, but I didn't delete a lot of pictures, but you can tell when it went from personal to business because there was this checkered theme that I have on my page, and you can tell, you know, when it went from personal to business. So I don't have a personal Instagram account just because my life is real estate. Like right now, they can go to Facebook for that. Like for personal, they can go to Facebook.
I do want to bring up, Makeda, too, that if you guys want to change over from personal to business, it is like super easy to do.
Yes. So if you go into your, and Sonia, how has that been working for you? Have people been, I find that people are emailing me, spammers included, but I'm getting a lot of real estate agents that are emailing me as well, asking me, you know, for some advice, you know, getting started in real estate, and people that are looking to buy, looking to become a first-time home buyer. So people are using
we haven't even tapped that in terms of like your lead generation, but I just want to let everybody know that if you're going to do if you're going to transfer from personal to business, it is very it's like literally like 2 clicks, I think, on Instagram.
So you guys, if you go to your Instagram, where your Instagram username is right at the top, then you have your insights. Like Sonia, we probably have to do a part 2 because we didn't even talk about insights and how we use that.
Oh, another story.
Right. So that little tool, that wheel on the side, you click that and then you scroll down. Like mine say switch back to personal. So you're going to go scroll down to the bottom right above private account, because you're going to turn off your open up your private account. Like it should not be private. And if you have, like Karen, if you have a personal page, I would just start a business page. Like keep your personal page, but just start a business page. And if you do those 10 things the tips that I gave you, you'll see within a few months, you know, that build up of your following.
Why should we go to a business page, or our business account, I should say?
I think going to the business account is it's about your brand. Like it just speaks volumes about your brand. And plus with the way that Instagram has it set up, there's a contact button on here where people can, and I had my cell phone on here, so I had took my cell phone off.
Yeah.
But people can either call you or they can email you directly right from there. If they hit contact, they hit email, my iPhone is going to open up in the email browser and I'm able to quickly send a message. How can I buy a house? I would like more information on this property. It's so easy. And even if you don't put your cell phone number in your Instagram profile, you can put the office phone number in your profile, but just make sure that you are easily accessible so that someone would not just keep, you know, scrolling because they're not able to get any information on here. It just says personal.
And you have the insights as well, right?
Yes. So with the insights, it tells you how many people and this is the part that I love, how many people actually clicked on your website, you know, within this week's period. So I had 34 website clicks that was up from the previous week, which was at 24, but that's because I had dropped a lot of links on my Instagram. Last week I released an ebook, and I had a blog post, and then I had a guest blog post, and it was a lot of stuff going on. So people were, you know, clicking on the links, and, you know, to my surprise, because you put content out there, but you don't know how people are going to receive your content. But just getting the DMs and the comments on my page saying that I love your content, I love your page, you know, how can I become a real estate agent? What do I need to do to buy a home? I have bad credit right now. So as far as like lead generation, I'm getting people that are emailing me, that are DMing me, but nothing so far from the time that I started building my Instagram account in March to November has led to anything that has closed in a transaction. But I do have a lot of leads that are now on my mailing list that I'm following up to get them where they need to be.
Perfect. And those could be the spring buyers and sellers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, when people are, when they come to you and they're not ready yet, they're coming to you because you're educated on what do I need to do to get my credit score, you know, up to be able to buy, or, you know, what information would I need, like the bank statements, the W-2s, like they want to know all of that information. And with me having a targeted audience of millennials, they want to know everything. Like they want everything at their fingertips. So they are educated buyers. And what I want to come across on Instagram is that I'm educating you on real estate. So if they stick to the page, they're going to learn a lot just from my Instagram page because I'm sticking to that particular thing. And so, Sonia, real quick, if I can give tips on what not to do. I'm going to run through this really quick. So write this down. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, 7:47. Okay. So what the first thing, do not buy followers. Do not purchase followers, guys. I know that there's a lot of people out there that say, okay, well, if you want to make sure that you come off as the expert, buy some followers. But what that does is nothing. Like they're just sitting there like a robot, not liking, not commenting, not engaging on your page. And so people are going to come to your page and see that you have 12,000 followers, and they're going to say, okay, well, you just posted a pic and you only have 12 likes, but you have 14,000 followers. Like something does not add up. And so it takes away from you becoming the expert if you're purchasing people or accounts, I should say, to follow you. So make sure that you do not buy followers. Number two, do not download the apps that allow you to spam people comments. So annoying. There's one guy in Naperville over here, I guess because I use Naperville real estate hashtags, like he spams all day, and I had to block him because it was like nice posts, great posts. I like this good one. Like that is so annoying to get that every single day from the same person, and you know that it's not genuine. It's coming from, you know, an auto responder. So do not do that because it's going to come off as inauthentic, and that's not the type of brand that you want to build on Instagram. So the third one, do not follow for follow. People should follow your page because of the content that you're providing. So you should not, as the expert on Instagram, be following. And this is all about perception. So it's not it's not a Instagram rule. So it's all about perception. So you want to come off as the expert. You should not be following 6,500 people and only 500 are following you. Like, don't do that. You can't even see all of those posts in your timeline. Do not do that because it takes away from you being the expert. So make sure that you're not doing the follow for follow. Okay, that's number 3. Do not do follow for follow. Oh, and we talked about this earlier. Do not post back to back. So make sure you're not posting pictures like back to back, doing a hit and run on Facebook. Like you don't have time. For this. You know, you're too busy. Don't do that. And I am also a busy real estate agent. So what I do, I post once before 8 or by the latest 8:30, so I can get that one post, and then I may do a post in the evening and then one late at night because I am a night owl. So I may be up at 11:30 or 12 o'clock, and then I'll hit, you know, a post before I go to bed, and I wake up with all of these comments and all these likes and all these followers. So it's nice to wake up to as well. Number 5, if not, okay. Don't post, do not post pictures without a caption.
Why would you do that?
People do that. Like, it is a wasted post. Like, there was no purpose for you to post on Instagram other than your followers seeing it. But even with your followers, like, they're like, okay, you posted a picture of a puppy, but what does that mean? Like, give me a story behind the puppies. So make sure that you never post a picture, whether it's just even if it's a text photo, make sure you give some type of caption. I don't care if you have to Google a quote. Google a quote, put it on there, say who to give, make sure you give credit, say who the quote is from, but do not leave it blank. And remember, guys, no hashtags in your caption. And so number 6, I believe, do not use hashtags in your caption. Don't ignore follower comments. We talked about that. Don't post people. Oh, do not post people content without giving credit. And I have a story about that.
I was going to ask you about that.
So yeah. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, as you guys are probably in a lot of Facebook groups. And there was this one lady who owns her own business, and she was taking photos off of Google and posting them on her account and maybe adding some text word to it or a caption underneath, but posting it as if it was her own photo. And so she got a cease and desist letter from the owner of that photo to stop posting on Instagram. And so they wound up settling for $700. And yes, for $700, I don't know about you, but I need my $700. So she had to pay $700 for posting a photo that did not belong to her because it was copywritten. So make sure that if you're going, like all of the luxury real estate pictures that I post on I always make sure I say by so-and-so. So I can make sure that I give credit for those photos that I'm posting on Instagram so that I don't get that letter in the mail. Because I want to keep my coins in my pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I did, Makeda, too, just for those newbie agents that don't have listings or don't, they're just brand new in the business. If you are going to ask another realtor in your office,
I do, Laura,
to list properties, then make sure that you obviously give credit, right, to that other realtor in your office that's giving you the permission to list that property. So put their MLS number in there, put their name in there, put like all of that stuff in there. Credit is to be given to where credit is due. So absolutely, for sure.
And as I was coming out of, being a REO broker, strictly being an REO broker, I went to my fellow real estate agents and I emailed all of them. I'm like, hey, you have listings in my area. Can I use this on all of my social media pages? That includes, live streaming. It included posting on my Facebook page. Are you okay with me using this and, as advertised on my page to bring buyers so that I can help you sell your listing? And a lot of them were okay with it. But of course, you had a few agents that had a problem with it. But most was like, if it doesn't cost my seller anything, go right ahead. If I can get this property sold, the quicker the better. So just make sure you reach out to some agents in your area and they would be okay with you advertising their property for free. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Now, how are you using, I know Laura asked us about Instagram stories. So what is exactly that? How are you also adding the @ symbol to tag somebody else in the story, or are you not using that at all? Or how
I haven't used that yet. I don't even think I have that. Is that the new feature that they just came out with? Yeah, I haven't downloaded that feature yet. I'm waiting on the live IG to come about so I can download that. But no, I haven't used that just yet. But how I'm using IG stories is I'm telling behind the scenes of real estate, also giving tips, the same as you, Sonia, giving tips to buyers and sellers and investors, and also just showing a personal side. Like I posted my son's basketball game, just the little things, about me. You don't want to make it all about business on any of your social media sites. You want them to try to, kind of know who you are, because as they always tell us, video marketing, this is where we're going. Like we can't run from it. So this is my first time doing a Google Hangout, but I'm here. So now that
awesome with your 10 tips and what, 7 tips of what not to do. So you're
Yes,
awesome.
yes. And you guys, if you stay consistent in posting, get your hashtags up, use author, I promise you, within 7 days, you are going to see your following going up. And make sure that your content is the bomb. Like, people are like, I love your content. Make sure that you are taking the time. And just to give you some tips on what I use Canva. To create some pictures and posts. I make sure that I use Canva. I even use Canva to write my free downloadable ebooks as well. So you can use Canva for those type of things, to create posts, to do ebooks, to do flyers, all of those things. And also, if you're going to use photos, because photos are key, you want to make sure that the photos that you use are available for you to use. And so what I did, I purchased some photos from iStock.com, and those photos, they're gorgeous. Like, they're gorgeous. So I'm very happy with the photos that I have, but the stock photos can get expensive. So just Google some free stock photos and start there. And then just use apps like WordText or WordSwag just to write over the photo. Make it authentically yours by adding your logo and also adding your handle, so that if someone else was to repost that same post on their page, they are able to say, okay, well, here's where I can follow Karen or Laura, you know, because her handle is right here for me to follow, so I can get more content like this.
Absolutely. My goodness. Woo! So much information. So I know we're almost at the top of the hour. Where could we, like, what's the best platform? Like, do you love Instagram? Is that your #1 platform, Makeda?
Instagram is my #1 platform. I love Instagram. I love Instagram more so because of the people that I've connected with on Instagram, because they genuinely come on my page to tell me good morning, that they thank me for the advice that I, gave. And they, I've met a lot of people through social media this year. Like, it's crazy. And like Sonia, I met through Periscope. Mm-hmm. And we're like right in the same area, and we're connected to a few real estate people as well, which I did not know until later on. But I didn't find you until Periscope.
Absolutely.
Right. So yes, but I do, my preferred platform is Instagram. Okay. And do not think that your targeted audience is not on Instagram. Even if it's an older audience, like, they're on Instagram. You just have to know how to reach them on Instagram.
Absolutely. So where can we find you? What's the best handle to find you at? Or if you need, we need more tips and tricks, where could we get a hold of you?
You can find me everywhere. And that's another thing about branding 101. As a real estate agent, people should be able to find you using the same username. So make sure, if like Karen, if you're creating a new business page, make sure it's something catchy, something unique to you, and that is available on Twitter, that's available on LinkedIn. Like, everywhere you can find me, it's Makeda's Realty everywhere. Even on LinkedIn. I was so happy when LinkedIn came out with that you were able to add your own username. So that helped a great deal. So Snapchat, everything is Makeda's Realty everywhere.
Perfect. Well, Thank you so much, Makeda, for all your info. Love your tips, and we will definitely follow you and check you out on Instagram stories and just regular Instagram posts.
Yep. And so, Sonia, next time, let's do a content. Let's talk about planning, content and how to create content. I would love to do that as well.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I know this is Thanksgiving weekend. So, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. Go on live streaming. Go to www.realestatelive.now.com. I really appreciate you guys watching. And thank you, Makeda, so much for all.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk later.